$4 million. Like, even Kirk Cousins, we're talking about money. Like, Kirk Cousins, think about that. He's going to be a free agent next season, right? There's a chance he's a free agent. What the quarterback situation in 49er land is not figured out.
We're really going to do this? Old man Kirk Cousins?
People have already talked themselves into it. Good Morning Football, and there's a lot of people out there who think, boy, Kirk
text?
Cousins. Who's the text from?
I'll let you read it. Yeah, I'll let you read it online right now, like live on air.
Oh, Steiny, here we go. Oh, yeah, I forgot he's a Kirk Cousins fan. 31-39, 273 yards. 2 touchdowns, no picks against the Giants in the wild card game.
The Giants were one of the worst wild card teams ever.
Not only that, where did Kirk Cousins throw the ball to on the last play?
I don't know
he
where.
threw it like 6 yards short of sticks. And who was it? To TJ Hawkinson?
Yeah, make a play.
Make a play, TJ. Your last
he
play.
explained that play in quarterback. Did that explanation
hilarious.
check out for you at all?
No, it was hilarious, though.
I was just kind of curious what you guys thought about that. When he's explaining it, I'm like, I mean, he's got to explain it, but like, I'm chuckling while he is.
There are 2 parts that are my favorite part of the entire doc for Kirk Cousins. The first is when he calls for the quarterback sneak, and the entire huddle is like, oh, and all you hear is Dalvin Cook, what? Like, literally questioning him in real time. The second.
Not only that, how about this, Steiny? Look at New Year's Day at Green Bay. Vikings lose 41-17. Kirk Cousins 18-31, 205, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Packers didn't even sniff the playoffs last year.
That was their Super Bowl.
That was their Super Bowl, right?
Well, then they lost a couple weeks later to Detroit, which was Detroit's Super Bowl.
Right.
But like, my other favorite part is he's playing obviously with broken ribs, and he's out there and he throws one, and immediately, oh no! And it's the way he says, "Oh no," as they have him mic'd up, as he's literally throwing it, going, "Oh no!" And we've all been there. It was like Madden. You press square, you're like, "No, I meant triangle."
If you're not a quarterback for the 49ers, you're going to throw for a lot of yards because the Niners are a run-first team. They're going to bludgeon you with the run game. They want to play physical, short passes, tight end screens, jet sweeps, all that stuff. Kirk Cousins gets allowed to throw the ball a lot. Throws the ball a lot. So he's going to put up some numbers. But what is he going to do when you need a win? When you need a win.
He's going to do the Minneapolis Miracle.
That was Case Keenum.
Oh, that was Case Keenum.
There you go. You took the words out of my mouth. Out of my mouth.
Case Keenum, another one-year wonder. No one ever brings up.
Biggest win for Kirk Cousins. The New Orleans wild card game.
At the Superdome, yeah.
Superdome.
Yeah.
And really, you watch that game. Dalvin Cook in the first half carried that team, opened up the entire game.
Who are we kidding? The biggest win for him was signing with the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, wow.
That $75 million guaranteed, that kind of changed the quarterback market.
You imagine Kirk Cousins in the Niner uniform?
No, I couldn't.
Oh, absolutely.
Would you take Kirk Cousins right now over the 3 quarterbacks?
No, I'd rather what I've seen from Brock. To me, even with all the injury risk on Brock and whatever doubts you have on Brock, I'm swinging, and they're both risky. I'm swinging on Brock over to Kirk Cousins.
888-957-9570.
I've seen Brock do more in one game, second half against Seattle, than I've seen in a playoff game than what I've seen from Kirk.
Let me ask 49er fans. 888-957-9570.
Am I alone?
If I gave you a choice right now, 49er fans, I said you could have Kirk Cousins right now instead of the 3 quarterbacks you have. Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold. Hell, I'll even throw Brendan Allen in there. Since some people pumped up Brendan Allen. I gave you the choice. Kirk Cousins or the 3 options you have, or the 4 options you have right now in San Francisco.
Are you with me on the raft? Purdy. Or are you
taking Kirk Cousins?
Or are you doing the Joe Spadoni?
Oh, Joe Spadoni's the Cousins guy?
Oh, he's a huge Cousins guy.
Oh, my God.
Huge. He thinks they would have won 1 Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins already.
God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he starts, Bonte. It's kind of a prerequisite for the 49ers. No one starts every single game for them, man. Kirk Cousins, what does he do, Bonte? He starts every single game.
Do you guys remember Kirk Cousins at Levi Stadium?
Yeah, they didn't have the better team.
He did
no chance he was winning that. Come on.
To Stephon Diggs.
And that was that.
That was that.
And that was that.
No chance that game.
And that was
I don't care if Patrick Mahomes was the quarterback that day for the Vikings. They weren't winning that game. Please.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes. Well,
no.
Patrick Mahomes is winning that game.
Thank you, Steiny.
Patrick Mahomes is winning that game. Kirk Cousins.
They couldn't stop. How many points did the Niners score in that game against
27.
the Vikings? Please.
They ran the ball down their throats.
There you go.
Is this crazy?
27 is not a lot in today's NFL. Vikings got held to 10. Bosa was incredible in that game. I get it. Kirk Cousins on the Niners right now, or the 3 quarterbacks that are coming into training camp. 888-957-9570. Can I speak my piece? I'd rather have the 3 quarterbacks right here in camp as opposed to Kirk Cousins.
All day.
Just because you watch a documentary and he gets his ass stuck over and over and, and he's whimpering on the ground.
That I'll defend him.
Purdy went up to Seattle. His ribs were shot.
On 3-day rest.
On 3-day rest. Did he complain?
No, he actually stuck the ball out on first down. Made one of the most savvy plays I've seen a 49er quarterback make in a decade.
Winning with Kirk Cousins? My God.
They won with Jimmy Garoppolo. You act like this is this crazy thing. They're the same
they won
guy.
Because of the defense.
Okay.
Could you imagine Kirk with Kyle Shanahan? How Kirk is obsessed about a mistake from the first quarter. The two of them would not. I as much as I know Kyle is obsessed with him or whatever, or at least seems to be obsessed with him. I don't think that's a great match, man. Have two uptight, wound like dudes like that. I don't know.
I'm just fascinated that the biggest thing coming out of that quarterback doc is not Patrick Mahomes and how gangster he is. On how he's talking trash, telling people, I'm like that.
Bonte.
And lighting people up. How's that not the biggest thing coming out of that documentary?
No, the biggest,
Patrick Mahomes.
The biggest thing coming out of that doc is, to me, if you said, Joe, you have to trade Ayuk, Debo, and George Kittle for Patrick Mahomes, I'd be like, yeah, I'm doing that.
Wow.
And that sounds insane. And I know people will be like, no. Yes, I'm doing that.
888-957-9570. You taking Kirk Cousins right now over the 3 quarterbacks you have in Santa Clara. This is fascinating to me because I'm seeing a lot of Kirk Cousins equals Super Bowl win.
I can't believe how many people are
That's
saying
from the 408 on the Comcast Business text line. 510, Kirk Cousins on the Niners equals Stafford on the Rams.
No. Stafford, no.
Nah, I'm with the 650. Kirk Cousins is surrounded by talent and still stinks. Who are you taking? Kirk Cousins or the 3 quarterbacks? I can't believe you know what? We deserve Kirk Cousins.
No.
We deserve Kirk Cousins.
I do not. No, I do
Who's
not.
Kyle Shanahan?
I do not deserve Kirk Cousins. I've been through enough 49er quarterback misery and turmoil and false hope. I do not deserve Kirk Cousins. I do not. Most Niner fans that I know do not deserve Kirk Cousins. Stop that.
I'd rather have
I'm not letting you do that.
I'd rather have Purdy than Kirk Cousins.
Just because Steiny has, a little affinity for Kirk Cousins does not mean that 49er fans have some affinity for Kirk Cousins. We're smarter than that. Come on.
If Kyle Shanahan had his way, do you think he'd choose Kirk over all these quarterbacks this season?
That's an interesting question.
I think he would.
Wait,
I think Kyle Shanahan feels he's a Kirk Cousins away from winning a Super Bowl.
Well, there's no doubt about that. He would. He's a Super Bowl 54, the week of Super Bowl 54, talking about Kirk Cousins. Getting ready for the Kansas City Chiefs, which I thought, oh boy, we're in trouble. We're in his master plan. Think about how sick Shanahan is. Now you're about to get me rolling here. Think about how sick he is. He thought he had a shot at Kirk Cousins, which is why he bypassed Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes.
Well, look.
He bypassed those two guys.
Bonte, in retrospect, this is going to sound dumb, but I defended it in real time because I didn't think they had infrastructure in place to be able to support a quarterback. I watched them do that with Alex Smith, where they drafted the quarterback and they had nothing else, and it ended up harpooning the young man's career.
What would Andy Reid have done?
The Kansas.
No. What would Andy Reid have done?
He actually took a tackle. No, he actually took a tackle when he first took over Kansas City. They took a tackle. They took
Andy
Eric Fisher.
Reid in Philadelphia.
Okay.
In Philadelphia,
and
took
he learned
Donovan
from his
McNabb.
mistakes.
Took Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, and Philly was
wasn't a
farther
mistake.
along. The Niners were an expansion
McNabb's
team.
a borderline Hall of Famer.
The Niners were an expansion team when Shanahan got here. Expansion team.
Start with the quarterback.
I disagree.
Why the hell did you trade? Why the hell did you draft C.J. Beathard?
Oh, no, that was later on.
Andy Reid saw Mahomes available, said, "Ooh, I'm going to take him."
Well, they had won back-to-back AFC West, division championships.
Still took Mahomes.
Or division titles.
Still took Mahomes. I mean, the fact that the master plan was to take Kirk Cousins. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I don't love that plan.
Dave and Fremont. Who would you rather have, Kirk Cousins, or would you rather have the stable quarterbacks right now in Santa Clara? Dave, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, Dave. Who you rather have?
I called in last week and said that I'd rather take Trey Lance with a wooden peg leg over Kirk Cousins. But here's my whole thing, and I'll take it off the air. All right. Kirk Cousins was so great. To all the people that want Kirk Cousins, he's had a really good defense in Minnesota.
He
got
did.
a lot of weapons in Minnesota. Been to the playoffs. How come he's never won anything? So that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I think that question was for Spinoni.
Had a horrible defense last year. Who are we kidding?
No.
We gave him no
2019
shot. They had a horrible defense.
2019, they had a legit defense.
Okay
2019,
defense.
they had a
They
legit
were
defense
good, not
under
great.
Mike Zimmer. Had a legit defense.
He had a defensive head coach who got thrashed
Yeah,
against the Niners.
Well,
Please.
they got thrashed.
Yes.
Jimmy G outplayed Kirk Cousins. And then Jimmy G outplayed Kirk Cousins in 2021.
Yeah, he did.
We forget about that game?
Yeah.
You forget about that? Levi Stadium?
Yeah, he looked terrible in that game.
2019 and 2021. You're talking about Minnesota, Kirk Cousins. Oh my God! You know what? We deserve Kirk Cousins. I want Kirk Cousins now in the Niner uniform. Some people's gonna get their ass fired.
What jersey number would he wear? Because 12 is not available.
You could have number 8.
8 is
no,
not
it's
available. Because Steve Young.
Oh, Steve Young could give it to him.
No, Steve Young's not going to give Kirk Cousins. No. I will get mad at Steve if he does that.
Vikings defense in 2019 was 5th in the league when it came to points allowed.
Yeah, they had
per
Hendricks.
game.
They had the
Griffin, they
cornerback
had
from
Danielle
Arizona.
Hunter.
Yeah, they
Danielle
looked great
Hunter.
against the Niners.
Yeah.
They had a really good defense coming
That
in.
looked awesome.
They had a 5th defense, but
And
only
they almost
facts
picked
are
off
facts.
Jimmy
They got
twice.
smacked.
Facts are facts,
They
which
got
is
smacked.
why they got smacked because the Niners are physical and they ran the ball down their throats.
Not Kirk's fault.
Yeah, Kirk was so great they scored 10 points.
Not Kirk's fault.
They scored 10 points. He was so great. Oh, what about the interception to Richard Sherman? That was great, huh? Oh.
I mean, when you have a defensive head coach, that's what happens. Now they got this guy, O'Connell. Now he looks great.
Oh, yeah.
Put up great numbers last year.
Put up great numbers and got
Did.
knocked out in the wild card game at home by the New York Football Giants.
Wasn't
and
Kirk's
Daniel
fault.
Jones.
Wasn't his fault.
Oh, yeah, he just threw it 6 yards short of the sticks on 4th down. Way to give the team a
Gave
chance
up
to
30
play.
points. How many points did they score in that game? Enough to win.
They scored 24.
Enough
Is that
to win?
enough to win?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Should be.
Come on, Spinoni.
Come
You're
on,
losing
man.
this battle, man.
Come on.
You're losing
He
this
loves
battle.
Kirk.
24.
I don't get it.
But you know what? He's a Raider fan. He's been tortured with bad quarterback play his entire life.
Not an indictment on Raider fans.
That's why when the play-by-play announcer for the 49ers said, Trey Lance, it was the greatest throwing practice I've ever seen, then I had to sit back and think, well, you know what? He has been around a lot of bad quarterbacks in practice in Raiderland.
Hey,
can't take
Jamarcus
anything.
could throw it 70 yards on his knees.
Not in
Bonte.
practice.
All right.
Didn't even practice.
He's on his pro days, I think.
The amount of people texting in saying that they would have won against Kansas City is
With Kirk
unreal.
Cousins?
Yes. It's
Smart
unreal.
listeners. A lot of smart
Jimmy was
roasters.
21 of 23 in the third quarter, late in the fourth quarter, for like 200 yards. He was going to be the MVP of the Super Bowl. And now, again, the final 8 minutes happened, and so there's a variety of things that they left on the table. And that's without the offensive pass interference call, which was a horrible call right before halftime, where it was the greatest throw in Jimmy Garoppolo's 49er career. Jimmy had a good Super Bowl until the end.
Minnesota had 7 first downs in that game against the Niners in 2019.
Yeah, they were terrible.
7
Dalvin
first
tapped out.
downs. 7 first downs.
I can't believe anyone would want Kirk Cousins
You know
over the
I
three
want
quarterbacks.
Kirk Cousins to be a Niner. We talked so long. We deserve Kirk Cousins in this market. 49er fans, we deserve Kirk Cousins.
So we're going to pay him 20-something million a year?
Yep.
That's insane.
Maybe give him 30. Because he's great. He puts up numbers, right? Kirk Cousins puts up numbers.
So if the contracts were exactly the same, you would take Cousins over the 3 quarterbacks that they have now.
Who? I would?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I started this whole conversation like, why is America loving Kirk Cousins off the quarterback documentary? Yeah, they don't do that too much in Minnesota these days. You don't hear too much of that.
Greatest comeback in NFL history, Kirk Cousins.
Well, guess one of the worst
they're gonna
teams
write a
in the
book-
league.
They're going to write a book on it.
The Indianapolis Colts.
He does have pre-TV Bonte fits, though. Like, his fits are a lot like your old ones. A lot of plaid, a lot of flannel. You
Flannels
guys
are
would
in.
get along.
A
Flannels
lot
are
of
good.
Cole's cash.
His significant
Yeah.
other lays out the clothes for him.
Yep, absolutely.
You guys have a lot in common.
Absolutely.
No wonder you don't like him so much.
No. He's a good guy. But I don't get why we're salivating over Kirk Cousins over the quarterback documentary. Did you not see Patrick Mahomes on the same doc? How is Patrick Mahomes at the biggest takeaway in that quarterback documentary on Netflix?
Well, my biggest takeaway is how did we not even look into drafting him at all?
I just said that. You just came down my road and told me don't start. They drafted C.J. Beathard that year.
I know.
Because the master plan was to sign Kirk Cousins.
I know. Hey, but in drafting C.J. Beathard, maybe they never see the tight end from Iowa, right? Maybe they never see George Kittle.
It's like Dwight Clark, right?
I don't know
work out Fuller and Clemson, and then, there's Dwight Clark collects some passes. Let's go take Clark.
I mean, I just, the Kirk Cousins thing. We're never going to be away from it, are we?
You like that? You like that?
He's going to be linked to the Niners until he retires, right?
Remember that big game in 2021? They came to Levi Stadium? Woo! Kirk Cousins, 20 of 32 for 238, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Oh, he looked rattled. How many sacks for Bosa that game? 3?
Cousins only got sacked once that game. This is the 2021 game.
Oh, okay.
The regular season game.
Because I remember in the 2019 playoff game, 2020.
Bosa was all over him.
I mean, it was everywhere.
See, that's the problem right now in Ninerland. We're arguing about mediocre-ass quarterbacks.
Why are you doing this to me?
And we're trying to convince ourselves that,
Why are you doing this
that
to me?
mediocre quarterbacks is going to win us a Super Bowl.
But we have we have 6 guys in the top 50 for PFS ranking.
And it doesn't
6
matter.
Guys.
And
Fred
it doesn't
Warner,
matter.
George Kittle, Trent Williams, like Nick Bosa. You want to go Debo? Fine. Like, Juszczyk. They are loaded. They got Javon Hargraves. Back-to-back years, they got the number 1 free agent on defense available. They got Charvarius Ward, who played like it.
And it doesn't matter.
And then they get Javon Hargraves.
And it shows that it doesn't matter.
And they still have Eric Armstead.
The Philadelphia Eagles last season led the league in sacks. Hell, didn't they set the NFL a record?
They have Christian freaking McCaffrey.
The Eagles had the number 1 defense last year in terms of sacks. And they still couldn't get off the field because of quarterback.
They have 2 of the brightest young guards in the game.
And it doesn't matter. Well, that's Cap. Spencer Burford, brightest young guard. He's solid.
They looked good last year.
He's solid.
They looked really good last year.
And it doesn't matter.
Burford and Banks looked good last year.
And it doesn't matter. Because you don't have a quarterback. Or at least we thought we think we do.
I think we do. Maybe.
Only God knows.
I hate you, Spadoni.
888-957-9570. Boy, people are mad at us.
Why?
XG. Yeah, Bonte Shasky are pretty pathetic. We're pathetic? You guys think Kirk Cousins is going to win us a Super Bowl? That's a pathetic thought. You know what? I want Kirk Cousins now on the 49ers. 888-957-9570. I'll say this. Give me Kirk Cousins right now over these 3 quarterbacks just to see it. Just to see it.
You want to see a dead body?